Okay, everybody, we're back with more Vintage Cube. This time it's the top 8 draft of the 64-player tournament. It's still single elimination. If you didn't watch my way to get here, I suggest you go and watch the previous video, which is what leads into the spot. That being said, what do we have here? We have a Gristlebrand, we have Tinker. That's 2 premier cards. And I must admit I'm more of a Tinker guy these days. I take Tinker over Gristlebrand over Mana Leak. I don't even know about Mana Leak versus Gristlebrand. Passing a Gristlebrand, I'll have to take note of that. So I can wheel some semi-interesting cards like Kappa Cannoneer and Mere Battlesphere. With Tinker, I'm mainly looking to tinker into Portal to Phyrexia, but you never know. First picking Tinker is always an exciting start to the draft. What do we follow it up with? Nothing insane jumps to mind here. I can see taking Arid Mesa. And I think that's about it. I think it would be just straight up wrong to go, oh, there's a Thalia, I'll try and go white. That being said, white might be open and we can identify it later and move into white, but right now I think it's better to keep our options open. This is also a pretty weak pack in general, so let's just take the Arid Mesa and see what's going on here. Okay, I really like Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is the first card that jumps to mind. Miscalculation is very, very solid interaction that you'll play in any blue deck. The Thoughtseize doesn't go well with the Arid Mesa. The Thoughtseize doesn't go well with the fact that I passed Gristlebrand. That's not irrelevant. Fire Confluence is awesome, but I think this is just miscalculation for me. No awesome artifact here. I'm not gonna go like, yeah, I'm gonna take Revoker because I need a cheap artifact to tinker away. That's way too early to do stuff like that. Okay, so here I think it's reasonable to go take Blightsteel Colossus. Getting the big tinker targets isn't that trivial these days, actually. There aren't that many. A card like Cryptic Command would have been great as well, so is Talisman of Curiosity, but I think getting my fatty locked in is a good strategy. So now I mean, playing Tinker doesn't require that much. It's like 3 cheap artifacts, 1 big one, and you'll play it, right? Okay. Next pack. We have the big Tinker target in place. It's very likely I'm going to end up Izzet, but it's not a foregone conclusion yet. I mean, in some universe, I go mono blue, but I think Palantir is going to be serviceable in just about every deck, especially like if you can hit a 12 drop. That's awesome, right? So I take Palantir over something like Rona. I guess the Coast and the Night's Whisper for honorable mentions, but I don't know if I was already red, I wanted the duel. If I was already black, I wanted Night's Whisper. But I don't think neither of those cards are reasons to go there just yet. Okay, here I have 2 options to kind of build my, keep building my deck here. If I go Thraben Inspector, that's actually a decent way to get a small artifact attached to it, like a reasonable card. I already have Arid Mesa, so I'm more likely to be white than a lot of other things. The alternative is going Patchwork and try and go all in on artifacts. All in on artifacts are like blue-white with a sub-theme. Is it possible? Is it possible to go almost mono? I'll try. I mean, okay, let's try and go full on artifacts. Let's see if it's possible at least. So I'll have to read this card. Unctus Grand Metatect. Nice word. Other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay, that's cool. It's a lord for artifact creatures, and it can make other creatures into artifacts if it's not already that, I guess. Okay, this pack is just super weak. I'm just gonna take this card. Like, these 2 are not insane payoffs, but they're good if the whole deck is artifacts. With that being said, I'm gonna go for Skull Clamp here. That is insane especially getting somewhat early. Okay, I mean, we can't complain about this start. I'm very excited to see exactly if Kappa Cannoneer could wheel. I forgot what the other card in the pack was. But I mean, let's just take this Cannoneer. This Cannoneer is good in the same deck as Patchwork, Unctus, Tinker. What's not to like here? Kappa Cannoneer makes all artifacts into, let's say, mana rocks. Power it out. So cards like Skullclam get more value. Cards like Spell Bombs, just cards that are like only good if they're part of a puzzle. I think that's the way it is. That's the way to explain it. So the cool thing about being the artifact deck is even if blue is not open, like Unctus and Kappa aren't really blue cards, if you know what I mean. You can still get some good cards like Psy, like Emery, stuff like that, and just take the cheap artifacts, right? Okay, I'll just take the Spell Bomb here as a synergy card. I like that. Um, Obviously on an individual power level, Hero Blade Holder way better, but this is cool. This is cool. Enlightened Tutor, I've found I only play if I have like Stop the Foundry combo, or maybe an Oath of Druids or Sneak Attack deck that somehow has that mana. It's a very niche card, at least. It's iconic. I love it, but it's very niche. What do we have here? Not much. I'll take this Ugin in case I get some insane Tolarian Academy setup with infinite artifacts, then I might consider it, but I'm not sure. So speaking of that, aside from like, the obvious Power 9 and stuff, I would be looking for, first of all, let me just pick a random card out of this pack. I would be looking for, Tolarian Academy. That's a big one that I really want. Like Urza Saga, Urza itself, Karn, Mana Drain. Mana Drain's obviously very good. I'm just trying to think about like the different awesome cards for the deck. I guess a card like Mystical Tutor for Tinker is also in high demand. Okay, can we wheel anything meaningful out of this pack? We'll probably wheel either Chalice or Prism. And by the looks of things, we might end up mono blue, which means Prism is worse, but let's see about that. Mana Drain, a very welcome addition to the deck. We're trying to go like over the top here with artifacts. This is interesting. Okay, these are very good cards. Force of Will, Mind Twist, Sheldred. Huh. I guess for me, this is going to be a Force of Will. In a perfect world, I just end up mono blue artifacts, and having Drain, Miscalculation, Force of Will can kind of answer the most, obnoxious stuff that's going to happen. Sheldred is arguably a better card here, but I think with the way my deck looks right now, let's say I already had like Underground Sea or something, then the pick was way closer. But I'm gonna pick the Force of Will. Ooh, two cards I love here. I love Chrome Host Seed Shark and I love Grim Monolith. Huh. Chrome Host Seed Shark. Card is pretty insane. It's like an army in a can. Great with Cannoneer, but so is Grim Monolith. I'm just gonna take Grim Monolith here. Seed Shark is awesome. I'm sad I don't pick it. Ooh, there's also Portal I just noticed. Maybe I can wheel the Portal. Maybe that's actually an insane statement. Wow, Portal is so good. But I mean, Grim Monolith is Grim Monolith. Very tough pick. There is a chance that the fact that nobody has Tinker, artifacts are open, right? That card comes back. The Portal, but yeah, I'm not gonna stay up late to look for it. Let's see, what does this workshop do? Cast the small stuff, cast Monolith, Revoker, Patchwork, Palantir, Kappa Cannoneer, and Blightsteel. Okay. So I definitely take this workshop. It's definitely worth it in this deck. The thing about workshop is it doesn't have to do that much. You don't have to cheat out that much stuff for it to be worth it. Okay, next pack is Shadow Spear Crucible. Memory Jar, I guess. I think I'm gonna take Shadow Spear. Just imagine like Kappa Cannoneer getting in there with a spear on it, stabilizing against aggro, swinging Creature Race in my favor. It's just a small artifact that does good things as well, right? Okay. Golos, Basalt Monolith, Talisman of Dominance. Great options. Golos. I don't think it's going to be the Basalt Monolith. It's going to be either Golos or Talisman. On-color Talisman is cool, but I think a card like Golos can do more work. Talisman is pretty replaceable, especially if I play mono blue, because then it's fine to have Talisman in any colors, basically. I'm going to take this Golos here. It's great with Shop. Okay. Interesting pack here, because a card like Wormcoil Engine is just a big beater that's great with Monolith and Shop. But in that case, is Batterskull just better because it's cheaper? Batterskull is kind of cool. Also, actually, the Legionnaire is something you can consider. Okay, I'll take the Batterskull. I need to read this card. Whenever one of our non-creature permanents are returned to hand, draw a card. Okay, so you return a land with this card, and return an artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is like a combo with LED and stuff. Maybe I'm just going to take Chrome Mox here. What does Kitten do in this deck? Can Kitten blink anything great? Theoretically, it could down the line. Okay, I'll just take this Chrome Mox and see where that takes me. I wheel both of the artifacts. I think because I'm heading mono-colored, it looks like I'm going to be mono-blue, right? Then I'm going to take the Chalice over the Prism. I actually like Prism a lot, but... Okay. So... Strip Mine is gone from earlier, I think. Let's just take First Lightning. I'm really not sure. We did get the portal back. Beautiful. What was the other card I was thinking about wheeling out of that pack? Maybe that's the card I took. Never mind. Gonna hate pick the Rex Sage. Okay, so nobody's like messing around with like too hard on Strip Mine, I guess. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So we're on a great path here. We also have like two very good Tinker targets, depending on the situation. Even if we draw one of them, we can, tinker into the other one, so it's not the end of the world to draw one of them. Very interesting deck. So what do I want here? It was the Seed Shark. I didn't wheel the Seed Shark, but I mean, that's fine. Almost any blue deck wants that card, so. Mox Emerald. Okay, that's an easy pick. What are we looking to wheel here? Mox Diamond or Dismember, I guess? Yeah, Mox Emerald is obviously awesome here. I've always enjoyed a card like Sensei's Divining Top in these decks. And we're still just looking for that Academy, because with Academy, everything can really just go nuts. And I don't think, by the looks of it, that anybody else wants the Academy at the table. Could be wrong about that. Let's see. Okay, so this pack has what? Jetaction Probe and a bunch of nothing? Is that really it? Oh, it has Saheeli. Okay. I actually like Saheeli quite a bit in these type of decks. Having the random bodies, even those are 2/2s with this card. They're like small creatures to... Do I have... No, I don't have Skullclaim. That was the previous deck. I do have Skullclaim. Never mind. Okay, so Skullclaim is even... Like, Saheeli is even good with Skullclaim. So yeah, that's a great pick. There's Sai. Okay, I'm getting all the payoffs here. This is looking great. Between Sai and Saheeli, that's like my way to build an army in a can and try and win. It's really awesome. Okay, this pack is great. These are good choices to have. So Sheldog is awesome, obviously. Like, just such an easy way to get payoff. Jace the Mind Sculpt is a great card advantage engine. Emery is good in my deck, but I'm gonna go for Mox Opal and try and wheel the Emery. Realistically, I think it's possible to do so. Mox Opal is probably very close to a Mox Sapphire in my deck. Nettle Cyst is another payoff. I'm gonna go for that card. Wow, my deck is only artifacts, stuff that interacts with artifacts favorably, and some counters. This is looking great. Okay, I'll think about the petal for a bit. The Lotus Petal. That should be worth it. It just does so much, right? Helps with Opal, helps with Patchwork, helps with Cannoneer, helps with Sahelian Sigh and Nettle Cyst. Okay, we take that card. Wow, this deck could be, yeah, probably the best artifact deck I've ever had. But I guess not having Academy actually disqualifies it just straight away from that category. Anyway, I'm pretty excited for how this turned out rather. It speculated on the Patchwork, and the deck was just open. Okay, so here's the first brick of the whole draft. It feels like. What would we rather not face? I guess we would rather not face like Inquisition to try and disrupt our early development. So here it's Equipment versus Soul Guide. I'm gonna go for Soul Guide. It's just nice to have, right? I passed a Crystal Brand at some point in the draft. I didn't see much, if any, like Reanimator affiliated stuff. So having the Lantern at my disposal is definitely cool. I was trying to wheel a card out of this pack that didn't come back, but I think that's gonna be fine. Let's just take the Chain Lightning here. Maybe I was supposed to take Flicker Wisp, actually. Flicker Wisp buying time against my tokens here could be good. But funnily enough, the Golos didn't turn out very good in my deck. I can't activate it. It does ensure that I have my shop available for maybe Hardcast Portal. Let's count the blue count. Maybe the blue count is sus here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 40. That's not much. So here I'm going to follow the same theory, like take the stuff that can disrupt me early. This pack is kind of more the same. I think it's more likely that I get Blamed than Besaged, but I don't know. I guess they go in the same deck. Okay, so kind of a land, kind of a land, kind of a land. Maybe I can't play this. Maybe I can't play Chrome Mox. There's the card I was trying to think about. We did wield the Emery. I'm not well, probably can't not play it, right? I think Chrome Mox is unfortunately too narrow here. Maybe I'm supposed to go no Golas because bad payoff. So let's see. I mean, I'm gonna add just lands to the deck. And I think it's gonna be like a 14 land deck, probably. 14 islands and a shop. 14, that's 15 lands, couple of Moxes. Yeah, that's reasonable. I don't run Chrome Mox because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't imprint that. 6, 7. Yeah, not enough imprints. I run both Tinker targets. It's a shame about the Golos. I needed like Sheldock or Saga or Academy, then I would run it, right? But if I only have the workshop, I'm not sure it's worth it. I have that Monolith I almost forgot about. I have Drain, which is also kind of ramp. This looks awesome. It's been a while since I've played how many equipments? 4? Shadow Spear, Skull Clamp, Nettlecyst Batterskull? That's pretty funny. Okay, I mean, I have high hopes for this deck. I hope to have some sweet draws and keep racking up the W's. But as I told you before, this is single elimination, meaning maybe this video's 3 matches and I go all the way to the finals. Maybe it's just 1 and I'm out before you know it. So you have to enjoy life while you have it, and that's what I'm going to do this tournament. All right, guys. Thanks for watching so far, and see you for round 1. Welcome back. I'm here with the quarterfinals of the Cube 64 player tournament. I'm on the draw here, and my opening hand is decent. I have turn 3 Palantir plus Emery. Island is not exactly the most exciting draw. I also have the Colossus in hand, which might prove to be terrible. Everflowing Chalice for 1. Develop the Spell Bomb. So I'm actually not sure what to do next turn. I can play Emery and Palantir, but I'm not really sure what's supposed to be my first play. I guess my opponent is taking care of that decision for me here. Skydiver on the Chalice is a cool play. Ramps my opponent, Stone Rains me. I'll just get the Palantir going. Skydiver is a great card against me, so I think I'm getting milled here no matter what. Not sure what to make of it. I guess I'll bottom the miscalc. I can do more damage randomly here. Lantern deals 1 damage. Yeah, the diver wasn't ideal. I wanted to play 2 engine cards here. I wanted to play Emery and Palantir on the same turn. Let's see here. Not only did he take away a resource from me, the captain also got another resource himself. Recurring Nightmare. That looks scary. That looks very scary. So I'm less likely to crack the other spell bomb now, unless I get to like untap with Emery. Yeah, my opponent. Ooh, my opponent's holding up some mana here. But I think what I want to do is go to the second main phase. That's like a common play when you have mana drain, because draining into the mana on my second main phase here would be not very strong. Okay, I'm able to some good stuff here. So that means if I get to drain something juicy, I can Batterskull and then some, I guess. Wow, the portal. The portal. Okay, so I put portal on top here. I think my opponent mills it over. Yeah, the portal gets milled over. The opponent takes 9. Let's see. That card is okay. Let's see if I regret it. My logic is if I drain that card, I can't cast the portal to Phyrexia. But I mean, maybe I just get smoked now by, I don't know. I don't think the Gristlebrain made it all the way to across the table, though. Let's see what this is. Okay. Animate Dead hits the bin. I was super scared here. 3 mana. So let's see. Doomsday. I don't think I can allow that to happen. Doomsday. Question. The thing is, my opponent goes to how much? My opponent goes to 5 life. I have a mana drain. If I drain this, I go to 8 mana. Shop is gone. I can't draw that. I can draw Mox Opal and get to 9. That would be awesome. So what's my play here? I can go... Yeah, no. I need to counter here. I was trying to find out if I could, like, trap my opponent post-Doomsday, but that was not the case. Okay, bad draw. This doesn't do anything fancy, does it? Draw a card, discard a card. Could be useful. But I feel like I'm just supposed to play the Battle Skull here. The Battle Skull is kind of annoying for the opponent at this stage of the game. They try and get in for, like, chip damage. So now I'm reaching the point where that Tinker doesn't do anything, I think. No, that Tinker doesn't do anything. The question is if Saheeli does anything. Saheeli makes a copy of an artifact. No, I would rather draw a random card, which might be a mistake. Also, the opponent did not animate anything last turn. Maybe I'm supposed to bounce the Malcolm now to not get crushed by something big on this turn. Yeah, let's do that, because I think if I get the turn, I'm in decent shape. That might not be true, though. Tough game here. It's just discarding Animate Dead. So I don't think my opponent has anything, but I'm also taking away draws from my opponent. Let's see what this is. 4 mana. 4 mana, kill Emery. Because my opponent... Okay, my opponent can then end step the... Ooh, very bad draw. Okay. My opponent can then end step the Malcolm, and then I didn't really achieve much of anything. Battle Skull gets in there, so I'm still losing to Big Fatty. I'm gonna draw this card, have to remember. Well played by the opponent, playing around miscalculation, I guess. I would love... Yeah, I don't even know what I want here. That's the thing. Kappa Cannoneer. Kappa Cannoneer. I guess I have to hope my opponent's on some kind of fair plan here. My opponent got rid of the Spell Bomb. Now I can get crushed by Recurring Nightmare. Oh, the Ninja even. Beautiful. I love that card. That card always leads to some very, very good situations. If I take 7 here, my opponent stacks it so that they Shinobi first, Shadow Spear, and Sigh. That is very bad news. So my opponent can go Sigh, Shadow Spear, get a 1/1. Brutal. I might not be able to beat this. Especially because my opponent will take the Palantir next turn. Equipping Sigh makes sense. Play land, so there's some kind of red splash looming in that deck. Draw step is another island. That's also brutal. Opponent gains 2, I gain 4. Cast, tap Skull, tap Palantir. Okay, these are awesome. Maybe I don't need. Yeah, maybe I want both. Ugh, tough game, tough game. Is there any way where the Cannoneer is lethal? Is the Cannoneer lethal? 14. Let's say I block there with the skull. Shinobi still connects, though. Yeah, I can't let that happen. I think I'm getting outgrinded here because of Recurring Nightmare. So even if... Yeah. Let's see. What if I stack them the other way and I draw the Nettle Cyst here? No, it doesn't matter. I still have to... With that equip, I still have to block. There's Woodfall Primus. So the opponent can go... Get back Woodfall Primus. Kill Palantir, I guess. Yeah, this game is probably over now. Yeah, losing the Emery was tough because... Losing the Emery was tough because I kind of banged on it to replay my small trinkets and grind out the game, but just because I got to replay a Batterskull, that didn't mean that the card was safe, so to speak. I don't have any sideboarding to do. I think I need to draw a better land spell ratio to beat that deck. My deck is like more or less a synergy deck, so just, you know, drawing too many lands will leave your cards just not that great. The Recurring Nightmare made the game complicated. Because a card like Batterskull is like it's not going to win the game just by its own, right? All right, backs against the wall, down 0-1 in the quarterfinals. If I lose, I'm out. If I win the game, I force the game 3, and we play for it all. So, yeah, very exciting. Also, I forgot I have Revoker in the deck. He plays Recurring Nightmare. He plays... Maybe that was it. Not sure I saw anything else. The deck has a red splash, which makes me think of Sneak Attack or Through the Breach, especially with that Woodfall Primus, which is a card that's good with both. So my counterspell should also be good against him. The Skydiver is annoying. The Malcolm is annoying, because that's like the type of cards that can disrupt me a little bit, get in for chip damage, fix my opponent's draw while I'm kind of setting up my big play. Okay. This hand is fine. We have some artifacts up the curve. I'm not sure about the Revoker. I'm probably supposed to play it out ahead of schedule. But that does leave me a bit more vulnerable. Because it's essentially not a disruptive card. It's just an artifact, basically. But it also clocks the opponent, so... Who knows? Shadow Spear the draw. Maybe I'm supposed to wait on the Revoker now that I drew another play. The next turn I can go Nettle Cyst. The turn after that I go Revoker Equip, hopefully. Okay. I think I just named that card now. Talisman of Dominance. I'm not gonna sack my pedal to equip. No, that's not gonna happen. It's annoying about the Skydiver. It can grab the Shadow Spear and just undo my aggro, basically. Yeah, that happened. That happened. Portal to Phyrexia is a terrible draw. That card is supposed to stay in my deck. I think I attack here, but it doesn't really feel good. Okay. Good trade for the opponent, obviously. That's the turn. Let's see. Opponent has now 5 mana. And I'm stuck in a terrible place where... Oh, Flesh Gorger. 3/3 lifelinker. I'm stuck in a terrible place. I even have Dead card in hand. Yeah, opponent has a 4/4. Sigh is not a bad draw. Funnily enough, that's a punishment for playing out the Lotus Petal. And I even play Saheeli, so maybe playing this out didn't do anything. It drew my creature on a turn where it was very unlikely to matter. I think because I have a few cards in the deck that benefits from holding the pedal, that's what I'm supposed to do. And let's say I get like Mind Twisted for 3 or whatever. Then it kind of is what it is. Recurring Nightmare resolves. Okay. So the opponent is basically looking to loop into a 7/7 here. Let's see. Ward. I think Ward also works with abilities. That's problematic. Land there is decent, but my opponent can gain so much life. I get a 1/1. One has a 7/5. I can't attack. Yeah, the Skydiver... Yeah, Skydiver just crushed me in this game. There's the Seed Shark. So the Seed Shark went all the way across the table. It makes sense. If there's some like white draft or a green draft or red draft or something in the middle. I just remember that pack as being pretty strong and the Seed Shark being one of the best cards. So, yeah, now Recurring Nightmare doesn't make a lot of sense. Flesh Gorger not getting in there, so let's see. So that card's a 7/5. Am I supposed to just equip the Cyst and go in there? Huh. Does that even help? I'm not even sure that helps. Let's see. So I have a lot of damage here, but it's not really effective. Like, I can bounce the Flesh Gorger, but it's not effective at all. So how do I break out of this game? Tinker Colossus, attack a few times? That does the trick. So maybe I'm supposed to pass the turn in the meantime? I can equip a flyer and get in there. Maybe that's good. Let's equip a flyer and attack. Flying Lifelink. I'm trying to prolong the game here until I can either cast Portals of Phyrexia or, I guess, Tinker Colossus and hope for the best. Full game. I don't think I have any blocks here that makes sense. The opponent's going to get in for 7. If I double block, I don't think it serves much of a purpose, to be honest. On later turns, I can get into a situation, let's say I get like a lot of tokens. I can get into a situation where I can like double block, sack those 2 to prevent the life gain. Okay, so the opponent can do like this back and forth. So it's like vigilance-ish. Opponents get incubator tokens every time. Yeah, this is going to be very, very tough. This is going to be extremely tough. Something like Land Workshop would be an insane series of draws. I think I'm supposed to start tracking my spell bomb to look for exactly that, right? Workshop an island. That gets me to the promised land. So here this is actually, the Soul Guide Lantern was actually a good draw because now I think the opponent is done like doing all these things back and forth. Next turn, I'm holding up Miscalc this turn, but next turn I can equip Nettle Cyst to the Thopter and keep attacking. Maybe that's the way into the game. The Soul Guide Lantern to disrupt the graveyard was a good draw. And it doesn't look like my opponent had much good things to do. I guess making those three threes is pretty decent. Doomsday. Okay, Doomsday. I'll let that happen, but how on earth do I win this game now? I imagine my opponent is winning with either Thassa's Oracle or Jace. And I don't know how likely it is that this miscalculation is disrupting that. The cool thing here is that my opponent is basically giving up winning with damage by doing this. I think is reasonable. I can stall out just enough. And my opponent goes to 10 here, meaning 1 hit from the Nettle Cyst is enough. Ironically, the Aether Spell Bomb is gone now, so there's no way for me to clear that Chrome Host Seed Shark, I think, and win. I don't think there's a way for me to do that. Do I cycle my miscalculation in this spot? I don't think so. I think I need to hope that my opponent has to plow through some things and then like pseudo tap out for the winning play. That's what I'm hoping for here. Something like play some kind of draw spell, play the Jace, hope for the best. This is also a good look into my opponent's deck as a whole. So what is this? Show and tell. Oh my god. Show and tell. Is this how I win the game? By letting that resolve and putting Portal to Phyrexia into play? Oh boy. Yeah. I think that's reasonable to give a go. So Atraxa is most likely gonna draw into Oracle and a way to cast it. And then I just hope that miscalculation is good. Yeah, my opponent draws into Lanthas's Oracle. Oh boy, this is insane. What a sweet attempt of a kill from the opponent. Whew. Wow, that was insane. Show and tell Atraxa. I have the portal. I miscalc the Oracle. Oh my goodness. What a game. Only Cube can deliver those games, in my opinion. Okay. Lots of adrenaline. We forced the game 3. That's the most important thing. We just saw that our opponent's reanimation plan isn't like crazy good, but it's there. The Doomsday kill isn't crazy resilient, but it's there. Like it's some broken stuff to respect. Portal to Phyrexia and miscalculation. A very unlikely duo to take down that game. Show and Tell Atraxa is scary, but it's also Show and Tell Atraxa. I put into play like Blightsteel. I copy it with Saheeli, or I can bounce my opponent's blocker with Spell Bomb. It's just over. So Show and Tell is definitely a double-edged sword in the matchup. I could imagine my opponent cutting it actually. Some Mox Ruby of Power. Once again, I think, yeah, I saw Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune was the red splash. I should have paid more attention to the deck. I was too excited, I guess. Okay, so this hand has turn 3 Tinker. Baleful Mastery. I actually have to look up that card. Baleful Mastery. That removal spell, does that exile? It exiles. Okay, so that makes Blightsteel a little less reliable, to say the least. Tap land. I draw Palantir, which is a card that may or may not be relevant in this kind of game. At least, okay, Imperial Seal. Imperial Seal. I don't think I have any plays aside from this Chalice. I mean, if I play around Skydiver, I can slow roll the Chalice, play Chalice for 0, but I'm not sure that's the play. Rankle. Okay, so Rankle lets the opponent get rid of a fatty. The good thing about that is if I tinker for Portal, I get rid of Rankle and I threaten to reanimate the thing, but I guess they can do that. Otherwise, why would they do it? Okay. Lose 1 life and draw a card. Okay, so that's not the case. Huh. Miscalculation. Oh boy. Rankle. Is that what you would tutor for in that spot? I mean, it is strong. Rankle is very annoying. I don't have any removal for it. What I can do is go. Patchwork. Take the damage. Then next turn, tinker with backup. Because Rankle can make me sacrifice creatures, so getting Blightsteel now is useless. Did my opponent see Mana Drain in the other games? I don't think they saw Mana Drain nor Force of Will. Oh, they did see Mana Drain. I drained some kind of 3-drop at some point. Oh boy. There's Ninja. Oh. Okay. So this makes a ton of sense. The opponent wanted to set up. Okay. The opponent wanted to set up some Ninja with evasive creature. Emery. That's fine. That goes to my yard in a second. Okay, Cityscape Leveler is an annoying one to have in the yard for me. Shadow Spear is also decent. That works. Then I untap and tinker tinker Portal. Don't draw Portal. No Portal was drawn. So tinker away Everflowing Chalice. Portal to Phyrexia. And I mean, let's just attack. Pass the turn. I hold up Miscalculation. Who knows if that's good this turn. Opponent has 5 mana. 3 mana, do what? The show and tell I can't counter. Shark. Okay, the shark. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about miscalculating that card actually. Then my opponent pays, it enters the battlefield, then I make a leveler. Maybe miscalc doesn't do any well, yeah, maybe miscalc doesn't do a whole lot here. I'm basically trying to slow down the game, but the flyer with a spear on it, that's scary. Very, very scary. Maybe do I put the pressure on my opponent if I go miscalc that, don't play anything else, opponent, don't equip, kind of still take 2 of their mana, and on my upkeep, I get to animate Leveler, which wins pretty quickly. Let's see if this is a play that makes sense at all. I'm not countering the spell. I'm trying to, like, steal mana from my opponent to stomp their development. Shark hits the yard. Opponent develops Talisman. So the plan kind of works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The opponent's trying to save mana for something. Huh. I think I like the Leveler. 8/8 Trample is nothing to sneeze at. Maybe even better. Let's try the Leveler. I draw Petal. Not a bad draw. Unctus. That card grows. Can I draw something? Because I think this is looting, right? So tap. Or do I just want to prioritize damage? I have Mana Drain. As, I want to say, the only card that punishes me, but maybe that's not the case. If I draw into Mana Drain, I'm going to look like a genius. If not, I'm losing out on 1 damage. Attacking for 4, opponents at 12. Mm, so tough. So tough. Gonna attack. Oh, okay. I missed out on a damage. It's supposed to be has to be a blue creature. Okay. Well, missing out on a damage. Okay. What do we have here? Some kind of trappers. Let's get those out of here. Let's see what the opponents want to do here. Ooh, they milled over a land. Nice gamble. I love it. So if I wanted to get the loot in, I would have to pay 2 life off the Unctus. I don't know if I was willing to do that, to be honest. This smells of exactly. This smells of Grave Titan. Let's see what this does. Okay, so I can destroy Grave Titan when I attack. That's huge. What am I what am I what am I gonna get here? Emery? Or maybe Flyer. Maybe Flyer is good. I'm gonna get a Flyer. I draw Ether Spellbomb. Pretty insane draw, I think. Ether Spellbomb. Is that game? I have to do the math here. The opponent did the math on its game. So what I could do here was bounce the Grave Titan, attack with those 2 guys, and that. I kill a zombie. Opponent has to block this. Opponent takes 11, I think. I think the opponent only takes 11. But, wow, what a grind. I need to watch those games back. I think... I have the feeling right now I didn't play this perfectly. But I'm also just, in the middle of it, so who knows, really. Oof. We we get to live another day. We win the quarterfinals against a Doomsday Reanimation hybrid. And, yeah, I feel like I kind of escaped this one. I didn't feel like I just dominated my opponent. I did get to showcase, like, the power of Tinker into Tinker Portal. That's just, like, a great comeback mechanism. Got some chip damage in with the automaton. Got to reanimate some sweet things from the opponent's graveyard. And, yeah, there you have it. 1-0, won the quarterfinals. So next time you see me, it's time for the semifinals. Don't go anywhere. All right, I took a quick breather, and I'm back in the seat to play out my semifinals of this 64-player Vintage Cube draft. 0 lands. Can't advise keeping a hand like that. Send that back. This is a lot better. This is actually... Is this an insane hand? Let's see. I can go turn 1 Emery, which is absurd in itself. From there, the Psy can kind of take over the game. Am I really bottoming the workshop? Wow. I think I am, yeah. On the draw here, miscalculation. I guess we save that for later. Mox, Opal, Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, yeah. I don't want to do that. Land. Emery. Emery happens. Middle over some good ones for sure. Lauren revealed is cycled. So basically, if my Emery lives, I really like my spot. If my Emery dies, I guess we play from there, but that would be annoying. Opponent finds another basic island. White is already there. Okay. So opponent has to pass here, which is awesome for me. I think the way to play it. Oh yeah, that was a beautiful draw. I think I can be a bit. No, maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm just supposed to go thigh, like target the clamp, play psi, target the clamp, play psi, so that if my opponent randomly has a removal spell but doesn't want to go for it, okay, fair enough. Then I could at least play the clamp right away before they get priority. Okay. So the psi is returned to my hand. Put my skull clamp into play. Mox Diamond. Okay, so the opponent can hopefully also do some good things. Okay. So now my opponent has 4 mana. Looking to do what? Drain. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think with the drain draw, now I just slow down here. Draw and replay it. Tinker. Holy crap. Replay the lantern. Pass the turn. Now I'm not in a hurry. Now I'm sitting behind drain. I'm gonna target my opponent's remand in case their play was Snapcast or remand. That's not unthinkable. Now I'm just sitting behind this draw engine, looking for my perfect spot to pounce, really. And if my opponent want to play that game, I think I'm pretty well set up. Also, the opponent will notice I did not cycle right away to look for stuff. I did not crack my skull clamp. Okay. Teferi's... I'm going to try and counter Teferi, but I kind of need to... Yeah, it's probably just Drain, right? Drain, then I can do a bunch of stuff. Force of Will, come on now. Okay. This is not fair, but it's Magic the Gathering. So how do I play this the best? I have 5 mana, so I can go Tinker Away. Can I go Psi? Can I do it all here? I don't think I can. I think maybe Psi is my like pitch fodder. So maybe there isn't much to it here. Maybe I just go Tinker Away the clamp, replay the clamp, something along those lines. Might as well do it with Soul Guide, I think. Okay. Tinker that away. Get Blightsteel. Okay, maybe actually I do this. So I play Revoker, name Mox Diamond. 1 mana floating. I think I'm just supposed to equip Emery. That's probably fine. Then I pass with double counter backup. Come on now. Come on now. This is not fair. This is like one of the most brutal draws you can get, I would bet. The drain on the 5-drop. Lots of backup here. Okay, so maybe just... Yeah, let's just attack with everything here. I think that's totally fine. The opponent needs a lot of stuff here. For not that much mana. Cryptic Command. Yeah. This is an unreasonable draw. Like, this is the absolute best this deck can do. Okay, so we got to beat blue-white control after having monstrous draws. Turn 1 Emery, start drawing an extra card each turn. Tinker Blightsteel with double backup. Not much to see here, aside from entertainment. Not a lot of strategy went into that game. So I don't think I'm going to change anything, even though a card like Shadow Spear is super unexciting against control most of the time. there any way I mess up my mana base to play some fringe playable? I don't think so. So my Mox is green and I have an Opal. So let's say I played against like some pseudo mirror. I could easily go, okay, I'll add a couple of forests because my mana base can take it, and then I'll add some artifact destruction. This is not something I'm going to do at all. It's just something that would be reasonable to do. Aside from that, I think maybe against like mono white aggro or something, you could argue the same with the chain lightning and burst lightning. It's just so hard to cast in this deck. I would need to add like 4 mountains or something for it to be even worth considering. Okay, I guess we submit and we hope to repeat what just happened. This hand has turn 2 Emery. That's like a must answer. And what happens from there, I guess we wait and see. I'm hanging on to the Opal, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. It's only cards like Prismatic Ending that would be annoying. Stuff like that, I guess. Let's see here. Staff of the Storyteller is a good one. Let's play Emery. See if we can hit anything. We only hit a Revoker, which is not amazing. I have like Spell Bomb, Soul Guide, stuff like that. That would have been great hits. Getting in for 1. Put in draws the card right away to have some options. Ever-flowing Chalice. Let's play that out for 1, shall we? Or maybe it's Saheeli's. Saheeli's better, I think. Turboing out Saheeli. Okay. Mana leak. So it's all the way gone. Now I can get in for 1 here. If I really want a next level, I can play around the Wandering Emperor and not attack with Emery, but I don't think it's reasonable to play around a 1-of that you haven't seen. When I say 1-of, it's 1-of in the draft, and it's only in 2/3 of the draft, even. This could be a standoff. Good old Mexican standoff. Whatever that is. I just saw it on the movies. It's pretty cool. Okay, that's not a dangerous play. Well, let's see. Can I play Cannoneer? I think I can. Play Mox. Play Island. Play Chalice for 0. Play Kappa Cannoneer. Hope for the best. Let's see if that card is any good. 5/5 hard to kill. And if an artifact enters, so let's say the artifact I try to replay gets countered, it doesn't get unblockable. I was always confused about the fact that this card didn't... Oh, what's going on here? How is the opponent gonna... Maybe it's just because I'm getting Wrath? Block. Let's see. Both players draw a card. I'm good with that. I'm scared here. What did I play into? Snapping. Okay. That works. I guess. So if the sweeper is here, then we have a game. Okay. Sweeper hits the battlefield. Okay, so I can go Psy. Monolith. Psi. Land. Monolith. It's kind of cool that I can go, if my opponent plays the Lauren, the 2/1, to kill off whatever I have in play, I can sacrifice the useless Everflowing Chalice and whatever they target to draw a card with Psi. That's not terrible. At this stage of the game, it's mainly about, you know, just keep doing something, like try and grind out the opponent. So tap, tap, sacrifice that and that to draw a card. Ooh. Awesome. Awesome draw. Huh. Let's see here. A card like Psi is also something that, if my opponent had a spot removal, would have killed it off, right? So maybe, what's the play here? Am I playing around Spell Pierce? I think I'm playing around Spell Pierce. I was thinking about Portal, kill my opponent's creatures, and just recur from the yard and win. Yeah, I like that. Crack the Opal? Yeah. Here we go. Here's nothing. Portal to Phyrexia. Wipe my opponent's board. Attack for 2. And then if I... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now my opponent needs an answer to Portal, or the game's over. Because I'm going to recur, like, Kappa Cannoneer and stuff. The absolute worst thing that can happen is Fractured Identity. That would be just a disaster. Cathar Commando. Okay. So, Portal is gone. I got to kill 3 creatures with it. The question is if I want to sacrifice Portal and Thopter token to draw a card, and I think the answer is yes at this stage. Opponent is thinking about their next move. Okay, that's a cool play. So bouncing that to hand makes it so that I can't turn the Thopter into a free new card. Great sequence by the opponent there. Land here would be awesome, so I can double spell. Always a great situation to be in. So Nettle Cyst. I played that first because of Spell Pierce. Still just, who knows, maybe you play Spell Pierce. Now I'm gonna get in for how much? Do I loot? Oh, okay, it's mandatory. Okay, whatever. Shuffle that back in. Okay, so I really put on pressure here. The opponent needs some, like... They don't have any more comeback mechanisms in the deck. I have too much damage coming in here. I have, how much? 6? 6 plus 5, that's 11, and a little bit of filtering. Yeah, that was, what a beating. This deck is so strong, like, so many synergies and just broken stuff, and oops, I have Tinker Portal. Like, that card wheeling in the draft, just think about it. I passed this card in the draft. And it just came back to me. I did think, and I think I did say as well, it might come back because Tinker's off the table and nobody's drafting artifacts. So, but that was just so lucky. That card has been insane in these matches. I think it's just the best Tinker target, hands down. Whew. Okay, that was the semifinals. So, I mean, 64 players entered, only 2 guys are standing left, left standing, and that's the next match you guys are gonna see. So, I look forward to it, and I hope to see you guys there. Okay, we're here. It's the grand finals of the 64-player Vintage Cube Draft Tournament. a bit of friendly chatter with the opponent here. And yeah, I mean, this is for everything. Oh, perfect. This is this is awesome. I'm playing against an opponent that I met at Eternal Weekend US, which was awesome. Okay. I keep this hand. I have turn 3 Tinker. Turn 1 Crypt Talisman. Yeah. I mean, what can you expect here? It's the frickin' finals, right? Turn 1 Porcelain Legionnaire. Not the most scary thing that can come out of those cards. Inti is a good one. The opponent's on Boros aggro. Let's see if they discard a bad card to look for more stuff. Plains. Okay, so that's the opponent's land drop. That sounds reasonable. I'll revoke the Mana Crypt on my next turn, I think. Opponent stops applying pressure, which I like. Mana Crypt is named. So the thing is, this Revoker is fodder for Tinker, but my opponent doesn't know that. If I play Patchwork, I guess that's less likely to die, but now I... Oh, okay. So discard Emrakul. Emrakul. Okay, so we play like Boros aggro with sneaky stuff. I'm gonna take 7 here. Zerda, okay, so infinite mana as well. So now, unless something crazy happens, I'm... Okay, thank you. I'm tinkering up Portal, getting rid of my opponent's board, and then my goal is to grind them out from there. Sometimes using my opponent's creatures to do so. So now I have to fade like a big play that I can't really handle, like Dragon or something. Glorybringer, Goldspan Dragon, that kind of stuff. I need to fade that, and I guess even if the portal dies here, I think I'm in good shape. Depending on what the answer is. Red and 2 colorless. Rhea's Apprentice. Okay. It's an annoying card. So what am I going to do here? Let's see. Zerda makes it cheaper to like equip and stuff like that. And it's bigger than the Apprentice. Okay. Or I can go Revoker. No, I don't want to do that. I want to take the 3/3 here. Because then I can play my Patchwork and hold up Drain. Sai is a good card. Patchwork, pass. The Mana Crypt is also kind of working in my favor here. It doesn't take that much to swing the pendulum on aggro when it's at 11 here. At least 2 spells in hand. My opponent did miss a land or 2 going here. So I can go... I drain a good spell, I untap and go Sai plus Nettle Cyst while reanimating. That card is a 3/3, but I'm not sure I'm too scared of that card. Let's see here. I reanimate maybe like Legionnaire. I have to start attacking. I play Nettle Cyst. I think this card is beatable. I'm supposed to try and beat that card. Okay. Okay, the opponent kind of bricked here, sacrificing the Thopter, looking for gas after having played Burgi, but then can't play Pyromancer because they don't have double red. And I guess just the grind here is just too much in this spot, I think. So I got my free win off of the Tinker portal. It's unlikely to happen again between I have to draw the Tinker and the opponent has to like go head first into it. But I mean, still think is reasonable. Reasonable thing to have happen again. I think I should just keep the deck as is. Like, this deck is trying to do its thing. If the opponent is Mr. Mana Crypt with a sick draw, can't do much, right? Okay, so what do we have here? If I keep this hand, it's because I plan to draw the island. If I draw the island in top 2, I think this is great, because then I have Drain online on time. What if it's the third card down? Because Soul Guide Lantern and Spellbomb are, cyclers for the job. This is very tough. I think just having 14 islands in my deck and a mana drain in hand, I think that's a keep, but who am I to say? So here, I think I'm going to play the Lantern, because I think if I have to use it for cantripping, I'd rather have the Spellbomb for later. Slow roll Mana Crypt is awesome. Turn to Chandra, that's great. Filling over a Plow. I do draw the land on time. That's the turn. I can't remember, did my opponent see the mana drain last game? No, I don't think they did. Inti, so what's gonna happen here? I get to drain a Glory Bringer. Okay. So now I get to do great things. I have 7 mana to work with. That is enough to go. So Spellbomb is free when I'm talking Kappa Cannoneer language. I can revoke the Chandra here. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. Can I do it all? I think I can. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Revoke Chandra. Torch of Defiance. Not... Oh, that one is a good trap. The Prestige. Then I will probably just go tap, 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 and keep up Ether Spellbomb. Yeah, this looks sick. Also, my opponent's deck is 2 colors, so the Crypt is less likely to help him cast more spells, like big spells. Fable is a good one. Fable Pass is not the most scary thing that I've seen. What happens if I bounce my opponent's Goblin token here and miss on land? I guess that's the game I should play. And miss on land. Then what? I think there's a good chance I'm blocking off my opponent's white spells here. Okay. I draw the land. Then it's just one of those days. So now I have to think, do I kill the Chandra or just start clocking on my opponent? I think I'm going to clock on my opponent. How big is this? This is a 4/4. This is a Lord, so it's kind of similar damage output. I'll play the Cyst. Living Weapon. I will attack my opponent here with the theory that if they have to spend time... No, maybe that's not true. Okay, I'll kill off the Chandra. Yeah, I regretted because there's like one Firebolt and then the Chandra's live. So now the opponent needs to... They discard 2 cards to Fable, looking for... Okay, they got the Forest. Okay. I'm thinking the opponent needs something like Fiery Confluence or something along those lines to get back into this game. I play this Lord out and just maximize my damage here. Is that... I think that's even lethal. Yeah, that's lethal. Oh my goodness. Ah, that was beautiful. This is exactly 13 plus... Oh, it's 16 damage? What a draw. Like, what a deck. And what I just had some insane draws throughout this tournament, or throughout this draft pod, rather. I don't think I played perfectly, but my deck kind of bailed me out when I didn't. And then I just played, like, solid Magic throughout most of the turns, and I got there. Wow, that's awesome. Winning one of these on camera is just, like, that's the best feeling. I'm super happy to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know sometimes it's so hard to like narrate tough games, new cards. Like, this is a singleton format, so a lot of new things are happening all the time. I really try my best to think out loud and do a decent job. But there's definitely room for improvement. Wow, what a deck. Yeah, I love Vintage Cube. I'm gonna play it much more, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for the support.